Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and today I'm just be officially updating you on some more current latest news and all that. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So there is lots to negotiate on this current video today as always, but the first topic of the development I'm going to give you an update on is in regards to Romelu Lukaku. Now we do know that Romelu Lukaku has been relentlessly linked to move to Inter Milan, but more additional information is updated about him. I think Lukaku has confirmed that he does want to leave Manchester United. Obviously, he's felt undermined by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the last 6 months, because obviously since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been recommended in, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice preference has been Marcus Rashford ahead of Romelu Lukaku. So initially, Romelu Lukaku has lost his place in the team. I have been reading recent reports up today, and it did say that reportedly early on this week that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer held talks with Romelu Lukaku, pleading him to stay at the club for another season, because it did say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to keep Romelu Lukaku at Manchester United and not for another season. But I think Lukaku has confirmed, that he does want to leave Manchester United. I think allegedly Inter Milan's representatives are due in England sometime this week to allegedly thrash out a deal and that with Manchester United. But we do know that Lukaku's agent has held talks with Inter Milan. Lukaku's agent, did give us an update the other week, and he did basically say that Inter Milan are desperate to sign Romelu Lukaku, and he also said that he did classify the move as complicated. Obviously, based on the huge fee that we've put on Romelu Lukaku, because it does say want around 75 or 80 million pounds for him. Obviously, we're looking to recoup the money that we did pay for him from Everton a couple of years ago, because we did pay 75 million pounds for him. Obviously, there were several add-ons including the deal, which did potentially rise to around 90 million pounds, and of course Lukaku has still got 3 years left on his contract, and I think he's on around 250 grand a week. Obviously, reports reflected out last month saying that allegedly Lukaku had agreed the personal terms with Inter Milan. It also said he had agreed a deal with them worth around £180,000 a week, but obviously no fee has yet come to an agreement between Inter Milan and Manchester United. So I think Inter Milan are looking to offload a couple of their players to help them generate funds to meet that £80 million valuation, because the actual fee is problematic for Inter Milan at this present time. Obviously, Inter Milan have inquired about getting Romelu Lukaku on a 2-year loan, with then the obligation to buy for a further £60 million at the end of the loan. But obviously, Manchester United did not entertain this offer. We are only willing to let Lukaku go on a permanent deal. Obviously, as well, we are unwilling to accept any swap deals that Inter Milan have offered us, because obviously, Inter Milan have tried offering us Mario Icardi as part of the deal for Lukaku. Obviously, Manchester United turned this down. Also, they've tried offering us Ivan Perisic as part of the deal for Lukaku, but again, Manchester United, of course, had turned this down. But we do know Antonio Conte has identified Romelu Lukaku as his number one target. Obviously, reflecting back a couple of years ago when Antonio Conte was the manager of Chelsea, obviously, at that point, Conte wanted Romelu Lukaku, but he ended up making the move to Manchester United. Obviously, recently, Lukaku did describe Antonio Conte as one of the best managers in the world. So I do believe that Lukaku, wants to play under Antonio Conte's guidance Inter Milan, because probably Lukaku believes he will flourish under Antonio Conte's guidance Inter Milan and all that. But obviously, no fee has yet come to any kind of agreement and all that. But I do believe that if Lukaku does leave the football club, obviously, we are going to need an adequate replacement for him. But Lukaku has been at Manchester United 2 years. Obviously, he scored 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions. So his pedigree is very good in the Premier League. He's proven in the Premier League. His ratio, and that's very, very good, because he has scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. And I think in his first season with Manchester United, he was exceptional. But I don't think he really replicated that in his second season, because obviously, like I said, since Solskjaer's come in, obviously Solskjaer's preferred Marcus Rashford ahead of Romelu Lukaku and all that. But like I said, 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions for the club. But like I said, he's one of the problematic players. Now, you do know I've got strong reservations about him. His first touch concerns me. Not really good in the air. Hasn't really got that endless potential. Doesn't really get enough of them runs in behind him and all that. But I think Lukaku did admit a while back, that his future is he did admit a while back, about his dreams of playing in the Serie A. But I think now Lukaku's confirmed he wants to leave Manchester United. Obviously, reflecting on his treatment over the last 6 months, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't think he's satisfied about this. So I do believe Lukaku is unhappy with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to convince his imperative players to stay at the football club. And even though Lukaku's lost his place in the team, maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still believes he's an imperative player. He also knows that Paul Pogba, of course, is an imperative player and all that. But I do believe we need to sell players this summer, to help us generate funds and, of course, rebuild the squad. Obviously, we have got 2 players so far on the board this summer. Like I said, we spent around £65 million so far this summer on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to want to build on this, and he's going to want to bring at least 3 more new additions to the squad. And I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priorities now, will be to recommend an experienced centre-half in. He'll also want to add reinforcements in that midfield, because we have got to be now more competitive in this window, because there's only around 4 weeks left remaining of this current transfer window. But yeah, I think we need at least 3 more new additions in. So these are still lots to address in the squad, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to build a squad worthy of the club's history. Obviously, as I did give me update earlier on of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference and all that, he had quite a lot of things to say, but obviously the interpretation I took of what I watched of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, I do believe that Paul Pogba is going to be leaving the football club, because for the majority of that press conference, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had been peppered with questions about Paul Pogba. He'd also been asked questions about the quotes that his agent Mini Raiola came out with last week and all that, and and he did answer these current questions. So he did, there was some good viewpoints that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did come out with during his press conference and all that. Obviously, he did say there has been lots of talks and speculation. He said there's been lots of talks and speculation about many of our players, both in and out. But he did say, throughout the course of this summer, he has spoken to most of our players. He's spoken to Lukaku, he's spoken to Lingard, he's spoken to Pogba and all that. But he did praise Paul Pogba, during his press conference. He did say he's got a heart of gold. He did say he's a great professional. He did say Paul Pogba, he's got no problem with Paul Pogba and all that. But he didn't say he's going to try and convince him to remain at the football club. He also said in his press conference he gave us an update about David De Gea, and he does believe he's going to be signing a new deal. He also said about Mason Greenwood, he said Mason Greenwood is going to be playing more games going on into this season, so I do believe he's going to be getting promoted into the first team. We also got an update on Sanchez. He said Sanchez's injury is not too severe, but he did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we have not yet received any bids for any of our players, and he says we really don't ever need to sell players. He also said we don't need to overspend on players. So these are quite a few of the things he said in his current press conference and all that. So he did come out with some interesting stuff, but it was mainly about Paul Pogba. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how much of an imperative player Paul Pogba is, and I think he's trying to do everything he can, to try and convince him to remain at the football club. Obviously, Paul Pogba's agent Mini Raiola, did come out on Friday, and he basically said Paul Pogba is in the process of leaving Manchester United, even though he's been relentlessly linked to a move away from the club. Obviously, Paul Pogba has gone on pre-season tour with the rest of the squad, as you all currently know. But Paul Pogba was absent from pre-season training last week, so that added more speculation in regards to Paul Pogba's long-term future with Manchester United and all that. But we do know he's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. He's also been linked to a move to Juventus, but I do believe Paul Pogba's first choice preference for a long time has been Real Madrid, and his likely destination, of course, has been Real Madrid. And we've actually indicated out that Paul Pogba is not for sale. He did say would accept a bid in the region of around £150 million and all that, but Real Madrid, of course, are not willing to meet this figure and all that. They're not willing to pay up to £150 million, so I do believe Real Madrid are looking to offload a couple of their players to help them generate funds, to meet that £150 million valuation. Even though Paul Pogba hasn't been the fundamental player as we all thought he would have been, I'd still say in this market at this day and age, he's worth between 140 or 150 million pounds. But reports did reflect out last month saying that Paul Pogba is seeking for a new challenge. He publicly admitted that he wants to leave Manchester United for the first time, and he even did say at one point, he was even willing to go on strike, to force a move away from Manchester United. But maybe the couple of main factor reasons why he does want to leave the club, because maybe he wants to be playing amongst better players, and he feels as though he isn't playing amongst good enough players at Manchester United. Maybe he wants to be in Champions League football. Like I said, Champions League football is always very pivotal, when you do want to get your number one targets, and when you also, want to convince your imperative players to stay in the football club. I do believe also he wants to be winning stuff and competing for stuff, and he's not experiencing any of this at Manchester United, so maybe these are the couple of main factor reasons why he does want to leave the club. But it has been initially in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans to actually build a side around Paul Pogba. Did say Solskjaer wanted to offer Paul Pogba the captaincy in a bid to convince him to remain at the football club. But like I said, Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, has been in the process of finding Paul Pogba a new club, at least in the last couple of months and all that. But it is Real Madrid and Juventus that are battling out for his services. Obviously, we paid £8 to £9 million for him, obviously our most expensive signing. Paul Pogba's still got 2 years left on his contract with Manchester United, with an option to extend it by a further year. Obviously, came out a couple of weeks ago saying that Paul Pogba had allegedly been, we was willing to offer him a long-term contract worth up to around 500 grand a week, to try and convince him to remain at the football club and all that. But he has been subject to a hell of a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously, Real Madrid have got 5 players on the board so far this summer. They've spent, I think, over £300 million. I think the vast majority of that went on Eden Hazard, because I think they paid around £150 million for Eden Hazard, if I'm right. But yeah, I think, like I said, I do believe also Christian Eriksen is on Real Madrid's agenda. But I think actually Christian Eriksen would be a cheaper solution for Real Madrid than Paul Pogba. But I still believe it's Zinedine Zidane's main priority target is Paul Pogba and all that. But like I said, I think Real Madrid are desperate, to include Gareth Bale in their bid to sign Paul Pogba and all that, because obviously Gareth Bale is one of the players that Real Madrid want to get rid of. Obviously, reports emerged out last week saying that Real Madrid were willing to offer £72 million plus the choice between Gareth Bale and Isco in exchange for Paul Pogba. But obviously, Manchester United didn't entertain this offer. So if Paul Pogba does go to Real Madrid, I think possibly Gareth Bale could be a part of the deal. Obviously, with Juventus, they're still in for him. Obviously, Juventus have held negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola. Obviously, probably Juventus more than likely would have to offload a couple of their players to fund the move for Paul Pogba, because I don't think Juventus would be able to afford Paul Pogba outright. Obviously, the Juventus director recently explained of how much Juventus love Paul Pogba, because he did have 4 good years in Turin. Hasn't really replicated this form since he did make the return to Manchester United and all that. Obviously, his stats were very impressive last season. I think he played 47 games in all competitions, scored 16 goals, provided 11 assists. And looking at it, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's 26 and all that. Basically, he's still in his prime, and he's arguably still one of the best midfielders in the world. Obviously, since he rejoined the club in 2016, I think he scored 31 goals in 135 games, 31 goals in 135 games for Manchester United. And obviously, with the club, he's won the Europa League and the League Cup. And obviously, that came in his second season there with the club. There was a lot of talks about him going to Barcelona in January. Also, was subject to a lot of transfer speculation last year based on his poor relationship with Jose Mourinho. And of course, Paul Pogba got one of his best wishes, of course, when Jose Mourinho left the club and all that. But I do believe he definitely wants to leave Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say though that he's in no rush to sell Pogba and Romelu Lukaku, because he knows how imperative them current players are. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still believes, he can try and convince Paul Pogba to remain at the football club and all that. But I do believe his likely destination, of course, is going to be Real Madrid. But obviously, we've definitely got to get a replacement for Paul Pogba. And, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival, we have seen, Valencia depart the club after he served 10 years at Manchester United. Obviously, we've seen Ander Herrera leave the club on a free transfer and all that. And we did see Fellaini leave back in January. So we do need new additions in that midfield. Hopefully, we can get a deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. With the Paul Pogba situation, is he delaying Bruno Fernandes' transfer to Manchester United? But to be quite honest with you anyway, even if Paul Pogba was to remain at the football club, I still believe it's in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans anyway, to recommend 2 new additions in that midfield. So I don't think Bruno Fernandes' move to Manchester United is dependent on what happens with Paul Pogba. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes has been pulled out of Sporting Lisbon's friendly today, of his potential move to Manchester United. I think also Bruno Fernandes has met up with his current agent, to discuss a potential move to Old Trafford. But we do know Bruno Fernandes has been one of our priority targets, and he has been on our agenda for quite some time. I do believe that Bruno Fernandes has agreed the personal terms with Manchester United. I think he allegedly has agreed a contract worth up to around 100 grand a week. Obviously, Manchester United have now reached an agreement with Sporting Lisbon, but obviously no fee has yet come to an agreement. I do believe the fee is a stumbling block at the moment. Because obviously no figures come to an agreement. Manchester United have been in talks with Bruno Fernandes' representatives. Did report out last week that Bruno Fernandes' agent had reportedly travelled out to the UK, to allegedly thrash out a deal with Manchester United. But like I said, no figures yet come to an agreement. I do believe Sporting Lisbon want in the region of around £50 million. The Sporting Lisbon president has confirmed they will offload Bruno Fernandes for around £53 million. Manchester United though only want to pay around £32 million for Bruno Fernandes. Now, he did allegedly say, I think it was the other week, that Manchester United now are the only team in the running to sign Bruno Fernandes, because it did say Tottenham and reportedly Liverpool, of course, had withdrawn their interest. Obviously, reflecting back around 6 or 7 weeks ago, it did reportedly say that, Manchester City were on the verge of getting a deal concluded for Bruno Fernandes, but obviously it had confirmed that Manchester City had withdrawn their interest in the player. So I'm still very convinced, we can get this deal over the line for him, like I said, but I do believe the personal terms have been agreed, the contract and that has been agreed, but obviously no fee has yet come to an agreement. So I do believe Manchester United will hold more talks with Bruno Fernandes' representatives over coming to an agreement on a fee. His initial release clause is around £88 million. Obviously, Manchester United are nowhere near determined to go anywhere near that figure. Obviously, I think he signed his 5-year contract last summer with Sporting Lisbon, so he's under contract with them until 2023 and all that. He's been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons, but him coming to Manchester United, he's going to rejuvenate the team. He's going to bring us them goals that we need in that midfield. Because obviously, without Paul Pogba in that midfield, obviously our midfield is going to look imbalanced. And I think we need new additions in that midfield, because we've got the likes of McTominay. He's too inexperienced at the moment. Obviously, we've got the likes of Matic, but he's not obviously not getting any younger. He's getting older. He's too slow. He's too inconsistent and all that. And obviously, we need a replacement for Herrera. But I think Bruno Fernandes would be the good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. Like I said, he can score goals, and him coming to the Premier League is going to rejuvenate his career. It's going to take his football career to the next level. Last season for Sporting Lisbon, I think he scored 31 goals in all competitions. Obviously, he's had a couple of years at Sporting Lisbon. Obviously, spent the majority of his career in Italy when he was younger and all that. Obviously, with Sampdoria and underneath, and I think his performances there were really good. But for the entirety of this window, he has been relentlessly linked to move to Old Trafford. But I do believe Bruno Fernandes' first choice preference is Manchester United and all that. Only 24 years of age as well. Still got a hell of a lot of development in him. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's worked out his transfer strategy for this summer. As you all know, he wants to develop a squad of young, hungry, homegrown talents and all that. And I do believe we are moving away from the policy of signing them well-established players. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes he's following a policy that proved successful, of course, under Alex Ferguson. Quite a few people have pinpointed out saying we should be sensible with our recruitment this summer. Quite a few people have currently said that. But like I said, we've got 2 players on the board so far this summer, but we've definitely, got to build on that. But Bruno Fernandes, hopefully, we can get the current deal concluded for him. I did say to you guys last week, I was hopeful Manchester United, could get 2 signings completed. Obviously, my hopes went out the window. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say before we went on pre-season tour that he wanted to get at least 1 more sign on the board. Obviously, his hopes had gone out of the window, but we've got to hurry up, and we have got to be more competitive in his current window. And I'm annoyed that we haven't got, the deal fully finalised for Bruno Fernandes as yet, but hopefully we can make his move to Manchester United official sometime this week, or maybe even next week and all that. But yeah, hopefully we can get a deal over the line for him. As you all know, there has been a lot of talks going out in the last day or two. It has been going around the mainstream media with in regard to Mario Lemina from Southampton and all that. It does reportedly say Manchester United have expressed an interest in him. It also says that Arsenal have inquired about his services, and I do believe that Leicester have been in for Mario Lemina. Now, I think he has actually told Ralph Hasenhüttl that he does want to leave Southampton. He's told Ralph Hasenhüttl that he does want to leave Southampton. Obviously, wasn't included in Southampton's squad for their pre-season trip to Austria, so maybe this is the main factor reason why he wants to leave Southampton. Mario Lemina has had 2 years of experience under his belt in the Premier League. Obviously, he's been at Southampton a couple of seasons. I think Southampton are open to selling him, but I think Southampton, will want to recoup the initial £18 million, that they did pay for him from Juventus a couple of years ago, because they did get him for around £18 million. I still believe he's got 3 years left on his contract with Southampton, but quite a few teams have been in there for him. I think he did report out from Sky Sports saying that Mario Lemina has been given permission by Southampton, to talk to other clubs. So Manchester United have been in talks with Mario Lemina over the possible move to Old Trafford this summer and all that. He's a Gabonese international. He's 25 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, but he has been mainly out of favour with Southampton, reflecting on the amount of injuries he's sustained, especially last season. I think Arsenal have been tracking him for quite some time. I think also Arsenal winning for him when he was, of course, at Juventus and all that. I do believe he's keen on staying in England, though, is Mario Lemina, but I think his preference is a move to Manchester United over Arsenal and all that. But yeah, Man United, Arsenal and Leicester have inquired about his services. He's still got 3 years left on his contract with Southampton. And I think he's actually primarily a central midfielder, so he's mainly a box-to-box midfielder. But his versatility is actually really, really good. But reportedly he's energetic, he can break up the play. But I don't know if Mario Lemina would be the right type of signing for Manchester United. To be quite honest with you, I think he'd be like more of an Arsenal type sign, with Mario Lemina. Obviously Arsenal have got a tight budget. They've only got around 40 or 45 million pounds to spend this summer, so they have currently got a tight budget. But Arsenal are reportedly in there for him. But he's primarily a central midfielder, mainly box to box. Like I said, his versatility is good because he has been deployed as a winger before. He's also played as a fullback. He's also played as a wing back, and I think he's also played as a centre back. And I think he's played as a centre back, during his time with Marcella. But he actually began his career in France, with Lorient. I think he also had a couple of years there with Marseille. Then he went and had a couple of years there with Juventus, and I do believe he has played alongside Paul Pogba as Mario Lemina, during his time with Juventus. So could he possibly, reunite with Paul Pogba, of course? But I just don't think he would be the right type sign for Manchester United. But reportedly can break up play, very, very energetic. Obviously for Southampton, he has made 46 appearances in the Premier League for them. I think he's made about 52 appearances in all competitions. So there has been a lot of talks going on about him in the media, at least in the last couple of days. But yeah, there's so many players on our agenda, who could replace Paul Pogba in the football club. Obviously, as we do know, it has been going out in the last couple of days in regards to it's been going on in the last couple of days in regards to Serge Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. There has been a lot of talks about him, currently going on. And we did initially say, we identified him as our number one target, to replace Paul Pogba at Manchester United. Obviously, as you all know, he plays for Lazio. I think he's been at Lazio about 4 years. I think he's made over 150 appearances for Lazio in all competitions. I think he's still under contract with Lazio until 2023. I think he's 24 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. I think he's been actually linked to a move to Manchester United for the past year as Serge Milinkovic-Savic. But I think he's going to cost us a substantial amount, because I read in the Daily Mail a couple of days ago, and it did say, the Lazio reportedly wanted around £108 million for his services, but he probably could take a bid in the excess of around 70 or 80 million pounds, to try and convince, Lazio to currently offload him and all that. But I think it did allegedly say, Manchester United have put a bid in for him of around £67 million. Obviously, I think his agent had flown to the UK at the weekend, to hold a negotiation with Manchester United and all that. So do you believe Serge Milinkovic-Savic would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba? But don't really know much about the player, to be quite honest. But Manchester United have been linked to him for the last year. I think also a couple of other teams have been inquired about him. But I think he's technically a good footballer. I think his tenacity, and that's really, really good, can break up the play. I think he's actually primarily a central midfielder, Serge Milinkovic-Savic. Obviously, I think Lazio did get him in 2015 from Genk, so there's also been a lot of talks about him going on. As you all know, Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid, obviously we've identified him as a replacement for Paul Pogba. Saul Niguez plays for Atletico Madrid. Again, he's going to substantially cost us quite a lot of money, because his initial release clause is around £135 million, and I think Atletico Madrid are reluctant to offload, and I think they only would be willing to offload Saul Niguez, of course, if Manchester United are willing to trigger his release clause. Obviously, he spent the entirety of his career, I think, so far with Atletico Madrid. I think he's graduated from their youth system, gone to play over 200 odd games for Atletico Madrid. I think he's got a long contract with Atletico Madrid. He signed a 9-year contract with them a couple of years ago. I think he's still got 7 years remaining on his contract. Probably won't see out the 7 years that he's got remaining on his contract, because I think within the next 7 years he would have moved on from Atletico Madrid with Saul Niguez, but he can play as a central or a defensive midfielder and all that. But yeah, I think he's under contract, I think, with Atletico Madrid until 2026. I think he's also being linked to move to Manchester City as Saul Niguez. So do you think he would be the right solution for Manchester United if he was to come in? Obviously, this transfer saga, does continue to persist about Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. Obviously, there has been a lot of talks about him, currently going on. I think reports early on this week, or was it last week, as I did give you an update on it, it indicated out saying that Newcastle have insisted, that he's basically not for sale. This was coming from Sky Sports, so Sky Sports News had been informed about this, and it did say reportedly Newcastle were demanding, they wanted around £50 million if they were willing to offload Sean Longstaff. I think maybe £30 million, could be enough to convince Newcastle to offload him. It did say Manchester United are preparing to put around a £30 million bid in for Sean Longstaff. But this could be enough, to convince Newcastle to offload him. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has instructed Manchester United, to get a deal over the line for Sean Longstaff and all that. Because I think we had been given a boost in our pursuit of Sean Longstaff, following the departure of Rafael Benitez. Obviously, he has gained a bit of experience as Sean Longstaff. Obviously, last season was his first season in the senior squad with Newcastle. I think he did make his debut for Newcastle in December of last year. And obviously, I think he went on to play around 13 games for Newcastle last season. So he did thrive under Rafael Benitez's guidance. And I think he was keen on staying with Newcastle under Rafael Benitez's guidance. And he was keen on continuing his developing process under Rafael Benitez. But I think there's been a change of scenery because obviously now Rafael Benitez, of course, has resigned as Newcastle manager. Sean Longstaff signed a new long-term contract back in December. So he's under contract with Newcastle until 2022. 21 years of age, plus he's British. And obviously, there's quite a lot of British players on our agenda because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talents to Manchester United and that this summer. He actually began his career with Newcastle, did Sean Longstaff. He also had loan spells with Kilmarnock and Blackpool. I still believe that Sean Longstaff is recovering to full fitness. Obviously, Sean Longstaff sustained a knee ligament injury back in March, and obviously, he didn't. The last couple of months of last season, he didn't play, due to this injury. Of course, he had currently sustained, but I think he would be the right solution for Manchester United. But I wouldn't pay up to £50 million for him and all that because I think that's basically asking for too much. But hopefully, Man United can get a deal concluded for him. Obviously, again, we are seeing him as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. But like I said, we need to sell players this summer, to help us generate funds and, of course, rebuild the squad. I think we get rid of Darmy, we get rid of Marcus Rojo. I think for their departures, we can generate around 25 or 30 million pounds for Darmy and Rojo's departure. With Pogba and Lukaku, obviously, who are our two most expensive signings, I think we can generate around 200 million pounds for their departures. With Sanchez, I'm still sceptical about him leaving. I think Sanchez probably will continue applying his trade with Manchester United, going on into next season and all that, because the club are finding it very difficult to currently offload him. Obviously, I said at one point, there was a problem with Manchester United. We was letting far too many players' contracts run down. But obviously, we have resolved that problem because, as it did confirm last week, we'll give Rashford a 4-year deal with an option to extend it by a further year. Obviously, we give Andres Pereira new deals. We give Andres Pereira a new deal. We also give Alex Tuanzebe a new deal. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, we give Juan Mata, of course, a new deal. 2-year contract with an option to extend it by a further year. Obviously, we know David De Gea, of course, is on the brink of signing a new deal, which is very good news. Obviously, we saw back in January, Martial signed a new 5-year deal. We saw last season Scott Wantamway sign a new contract. Smalling and Jones, of course, had been given new long-term contracts, and that was obviously a bad mistake by Manchester United. But I think Solskjaer's got to meet expectation levels going on into this season. I don't think our expectations going on into this season, will be to win the league or challenge for the league. I think our expectations going on into this season, will be to probably finish in the top 4. But I do believe our aspirations in the next couple of seasons, probably will be that top 4. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, because obviously at the moment City is strides ahead of us. Obviously Liverpool and that are strides ahead of us. So it's very imperative that we catch up with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. But like I said, I'm very, very happy with the signing of Wan-Bissaka. I do believe he can be our fullback for the next decade, and I do believe he's got all the ingredients required, to become a huge success at Manchester United. And the good thing about Wan-Bissaka, he's going to get straight into the first team. Obviously, he's going to be our first choice right back going on into this season. With Daniel James, obviously, he's going to get the opportunity. Solskjaer will give them all the opportunity. Reflecting back when he first came in as Manchester United manager, he did say anyway, he'd give everybody the chance, which he did. He said he'd give the fringe players a chance, the young players a chance, of course, and all that. So he will give everybody the chance. I don't know if Daniel James will be guaranteed to get first team football week in, week out, and all that. But he will definitely get given the opportunity. Obviously with Sean Longstaff, if he comes to Manchester United, I'm sceptical about him getting into the first team or getting first team football week in, week out. And the difference between Sean Longstaff and Bruno Fernandes is more experienced, and obviously Bruno Fernandes will be assured, of course, to get straight into the first team and all that. But like I said, we're still one of the biggest clubs in the world. One of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the most successful team in England historically and all that. I know we've been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, but the main factor reason why we've been a toxic club because obviously we've been mismanaged. Obviously, this is the main factor reason why we've been underachieving. We've had different managers with different types of philosophies. A hell of a lot of money, of course, has been invested into the club. Players have come in, and of course, players have gone. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is still in the process of currently rebuilding and all that. So we still basically need to revitalise that squad. You do know we've got issues defensively, so we have got to get a central defender in. Someone that can partner alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. Some vast majority of Manchester United fans has probably said, we need 2 central defenders in. We need to see vast improvements going on into this season of what we saw last season, because last season was disappointing. We finished 6th. We didn't win many Survivor and all that. But I'm very, very glad that Solskjaer is promoting the youth, and he did basically say in his press conference he's going to be Mason Greenwood. He's going to be playing more games going on into this season. I'm reflecting back in the Cardiff game in the last game of last season. I thought Mason Greenwood was currently our best player. He's also done very, very well for the reserves and all that. But yeah, like I said, very, very pleased about that. Good news about David De Gea. And yeah, that's mainly everything to update you on. But like I did say, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. Obviously, that came in Alex Ferguson's last season and all that. But we haven't really won much since the Alex Ferguson era. We didn't win out under David Moyes' era. Obviously, we didn't. We won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal era. Won the Europa League and League Cup under Jose Mourinho. Obviously, that came in Jose Mourinho's first season and all that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows what our objective is to get us back to being a competitive elite level football club and get us back, to challenging for trophies and of course winning trophies. And I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got the abilities to get Manchester United back to where they want to be, and I hope he's got the stature to get us in that current commanding position, because he does know the club inside out. He was a great player for Manchester United for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. Obviously he's now following Alex Ferguson's philosophy. He has got a bit of experience as a manager, not really to the highest level and all that, but he did win a couple of Norwegian titles with Mould. Obviously he managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years, so you did watch some of this team at this day and age, of course, grow and develop. But analysing it so far, the majority of this squad is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The only players that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that he has bought at the moment are obviously Dan James and Wan-Bissaka and all that. But I do really, really think it was good business by Manchester United getting Wan-Bissaka in, but we need more than Wan-Bissaka, and I think everyone, of course, is aware of that, and we need at least 3 more new additions to the squad. We need a right winner, but I'm sceptical about Manchester United getting a winner in. There's been quite a few wingers on our current agenda and all that. But like I currently said, still lots to address in the squad. But there's only 4 weeks now, like I said, remaining of this current transfer window. But the main part of this video, was to give you the news about Romelu Lukaku. Now, reportedly, he's felt undermined by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the last 6 months and all that. Now, reportedly, he wants to leave Manchester United. Reportedly, Inter Milan representatives are due in England sometime this week to allegedly thrash out a deal with Manchester United. The fee seems to be problematic at the moment, because obviously Inter Milan are trying to generate funds. It's sell players to help them generate funds, to meet that £80 million valuation, but we're looking to recoup what we did pay for Romelu Lukaku a couple of years ago. But he did confirm earlier on this week that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has held talks with Romelu Lukaku. He's held talks with Romelu Lukaku, pleading him to stay for 1 more season, because Solskjaer did say he wants Romelu Lukaku to stay for 1 more season, but Lukaku is desperate of making the move to Inter Milan and all that. So that's the latest news on Lukaku. We do play Perth Glory at the weekend, like I said. Obviously it's our first pre-season game and all that. But more additional information, we'll update, later on this week about the team news and all that for that game. So we'll probably will be on this channel for that. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on this channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.